Alrighty, guys, we're back here. We've got a fun episode for you today. We're going to be ranking 30 to 1, uh, all the league pass teams, our rankings on pretty much on excitement. Um, Back here with Christian. You want to say hello to the people?
How we doing out there?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm great.
Let's get it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
So pretty much the way we're doing this is I made a list. I did this. This is not an original idea. I know Grantland used to do it way back in the day, but pretty much took all 30 teams and we ranked them based on least exciting to most exciting. Categories being like one, do people care about the team overall? So the fan bases, size, national media, stuff like that matters. The star player, the highlight potential of the team, that's sensation of flair, for, if you would. The gameplay overall, style of play, stuff like that. Aesthetics as far as uniforms, court designs, even the announcers. When you're on League Pass, I don't know about you guys, but like I was watching Pistons Kings a couple days ago, and that stuff matters, all right? When you're trying to take your medicine, like it matters who's calling the game. And then not really a category, but kind of could give you bonus points is if you have a level of unintentional comedy, if you will, right? So whatever that is, it could be in different forms, but it matters.
Whoever that is, aka Shaq and a Fool. Like the eligibility for Shaq and a Fool's out there sometimes.
Yeah, that no, 100%. That's in the cards.
For sure.
All right, so pretty much I'm gonna run down the list. We're gonna go team by team. Christian's gonna react. I know he's kind of done some prep work for this as well, so it should be fun. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. All right, so I'm gonna start at 30. The least exciting team on NBA League Pass currently, I have the Indiana Pacers. All right,
I have the same team.
makes it easy. Let me say this. All right, I really enjoy Domantas Sabonis and Brogdon's game. Right, like if I'm a GM, I like those players, but they're just not individuals that really give you a must-see feeling. Chris Duarte, he's had a good start to his NBA career, but he as well has got a ways to go to have me tuning into Pacer games on a Tuesday in November.
Oh my goodness.
They do have one of the better looking courts in the league. I'll give them that, but it's just not quite talent enough to make the play in. But they're really not terrible enough to be like a tankathon watch. And don't let Rick Carlisle's Jim Carrey like appearance fool you. There's nothing funny about this team except for the inflated praise this man gets for trotting out yet another mediocre squad.
Oh man. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're a Pacers fan, you might want to skip ahead. I don't know why there's an NBA franchise in Indiana. I know they're big basketball fans. I get it. But we cannot have an NBA team where the home of the clan is originated from Indiana. I'm sorry. No one wants to play in Indiana. No brother will ever want to go play in Indiana. We need to get another team in Seattle. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of the energy in Indiana. I'm sure there's great people there potentially, but it's a waste of a space to have a franchise in the NBA. I'm sorry. Waste of a space. No free agent. A free agent would go to Cleveland over Indiana in a heartbeat. Just the way
Fair
it
enough.
is.
All right, well, I'm glad we're in the greens there. Uh, 29, I actually have the Orlando Magic. The Magic, they do have a top 5 uniform in the NBA as far as like collection wise. I think dating back to even the 90s, they've always had clean uniforms, clean
Clean.
courts. Cole Anthony, he's probably the most fun, irrational confidence guy and scorer in like the entire NBA. Franz
Absolutely.
Wagner, they drafted him and he's giving him a spark offensively from the wing. But defensively, man, this guy's he's versatile and he's locking in. It's pretty impressive. What kind of holds this team back, in my opinion, Jalen Suggs is really disappointed. All right. And I'm still, waiting for the next season of the hit drama we have all come to love of what the fuck happened to Markel Fultz jumper. These factors, they just kind of hold them back on this list to me.
I'm gonna be honest with you. From an organizational standpoint, I'm not sure what's going on there. There doesn't seem to be a semblance of a plan and action. The problem that I have with them, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Out of all the bottom feeders in the league, this is the biggest problem I have with the Orlando Magic. They're the only team I believe will still be on this list in the next 5 years. They're the only ones that's going to be in the bottom 5 in the next 5 years. They're the only ones that I would probably guarantee it that they're going to be in the bottom 5 of this list in the next 5 years. Because I see no plan whatsoever for their future.
I kind of think that's a fair point. And they've done this weird thing. Like, I don't know if it's in the collective bargaining or what, but does this team have to have 5 centers on their roster at all times? Like, and not only that, but like they keep drafting these guys who just cannot shoot. Like, I don't understand it. Like the league is clearly going in a direction of skill, and they have just gone the complete opposite way time and time again.
No disrespect to the Orlando Magic, but when Nikola Vucevic is probably a top 3 player in your franchise history, I don't know what that says for your franchise.
I'm just gonna leave that be. 28. All right, now I gotta be honest. This team should be higher on this list, all right, but they're not. I have the New Orleans Pelicans at 28. This
Oh,
this team would be much higher on the list if Zion was playing, but as it stands, he looks closer to TNT shape than he is basketball shape. All right. Knowing that, sorry, but like we cannot expect fans to care about your team when the owner has a better chance of naming the second string right guard for the Saints than naming their starting power forward.
oh my
They have maybe the
goodness.
worst color scheme and definitely the worst mascot back in New Orleans. So you get 0 points for aesthetics. With Brandon Ingram and Zion closing in on their honestly imminent departure, the best thing you can expect from the Pelicans on your league pass is the hopes you get maybe like a surprise laugh thanks to the production showing you a shot of David Griffin.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The most entertaining thing that's came out of the Pelicans camp was Griffin playing that piano for Zion in the bubble. That is easily the best entertainment that team has given us in the past 12 months. That story, if for the listeners out there, if you're not familiar with the story, apparently Zion and organization weren't on the same page, in the bubble and whatnot. Rumors were being leaked that he wanted out. His family's unhappy there. It was reported that Griffin sat Zion down and played piano for him in hopes of, I don't know, like wooing him. I'm not really sure what was going on there. Zion has came out in his defense and said that's not what happened, but it was reported. That's all I gotta say. I don't think we should give them any more time. If Gail Benson, their owner, can't give them any more attention, I don't feel like we should give them any more attention. So we're gonna move on to the next team.
At 27, I had ranked the Detroit Pistons.
Okay,
You got,
okay.
you
Get the
got Cade,
motorcade though. Get the motorcade.
yeah, with all 13 of them. Like, all right.
Oh
You got
my
Cade
God.
Cunningham, right? You got the number 1 overall pick. Killian Hayes continues to prove that the team has reached on him in the draft. You got Jeremy's Grant obsession with proving he's a big time scorer no matter how cold he gets from the floor. Plus, plus just a team defense that it pretty much gives you no effort, like no, just no defensive scheme to show for it. Gives you one of the worst teams in the league. Having the number one overall pick does give NBA fans a reason, to tune in once in a while and also like I've watched a couple Pistons games. They do have a really nice announcing duo, um, and it's just enough to move them above absolutely unwatchable.
You know what? I would have them around um, the the same ranking, but I will also say this: they do have some pretty nice uniforms. They don't have any. They don't have a single ugly uniform. I give them that
Mm,
much.
the
I'm
gray
not the.
one's kind of meh,
It's meh. It's meh. But
but I do like their stuff. Yeah,
right. I mean, for as as Laker fans here, it's a little tough just whenever I see their colors, just because of '04. It bugs me, but I mean, I like Cade Cunningham. I think he's got a bright young future ahead of him, and I would be surprised if they're still in the bottom five in the next 5 seasons. I would be very surprised.
I would too. I think they're one of my favorite rebuilds currently. I think Cleveland's kind of my favorite one. Detroit's up there though. I'd put them above like Houston and some other guys.
You know what? I'll say this about Detroit though. They're one of my favorite rebuilds that I don't want to watch the rebuild. I like knowing that when I go to sleep at night, okay, they got something going on with them, and I'll check back in maybe in like the next 3 seasons or so. But I'm not following this rebuild whatsoever. But I like knowing though that the city of Detroit does have something going on there, unlike Orlando
It's
fans. If you're an
right.
Orlando fan, I'm not really sure what the hell. I don't know how you feel about them. So I give Detroit credit. It's one of my favorite rebuilds that I won't pay attention to at all.
You know what? Orlando's not paying attention either, so it's all good. All right, at 26, I've actually got the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh wow. Okay.
When you tune in the Spurs, it doesn't take long, right? Where you start wondering if somebody's grandpa is. You start wondering if like a grandpa escaped the assisted living and somehow found this.
Stumbled into a long sleeve polo with some black slacks. Didn't have access to any brush or comb as he escaped. And he just stumbled upon, he got past security, he got past everybody, and he found himself sitting on the bench as the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. Greg Popovich is the definition of fuck it. He gives zero fucks. This man
Give him
looks
this,
like,
man. He's come a long way from last year. All right.
oh my god.
He has, bro.
That's so true. I totally think Silver shot him a text and was like, yo, fam, I'm gonna need you to can we clean up a little bit? Can we clean it up a little bit? Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Man.
He's coaching a team full of youth, right? And if you're a San Antonio fan, you're just kind of hoping one of those young guys can pop. They kind of really played a frenetic pace, which is a change, for pop, but they're playing at this high pace. I think like seventh or something like that. But the problem is it's only leading up to launching up long twos. Like they were brought out of a time machine from 1962. I swear, like the Spurs, I mean, what helps is they got a nice city edition uniform. And how
He went straight to
hey man, we're at 26, all right? Like I'm just saying, like, how can you not love the Fiesta Court?
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Free
All right.
DeJounte Murray, by the way.
DeJounte Murray. Can I hit on DeJounte real quick?
Please, please. Someone needs to hit on him because he needs to get his ass up out of there.
This man's a wizard, bro. Like defensively, I have seen this guy like taking guys full court press and then somehow end up 15 feet away in the passing lanes within the blink of an eye. I'm like, oh, how does he do that? Like,
I'm telling you, man, DeJounte Murray is nice. He got no business being in San Antonio. I fantasize from time to time. I just think to myself, DeJounte,
mm,
he will look real good in Portland. I'm just saying. They could use him in Portland.
that's what Portland needs, more guards.
Okay, you know what? I'm
All right.
yeah, okay.
Number 25. I have the LA Clippers.
Oh,
Hot take, right?
that's okay, okay. I'm gonna let you go.
Okay. How fitting is it that in Los Angeles, the Clippers' lone fans are Billy Crystal and some dude named Daryl?
Don't forget they got an owner who
I'll
when he
get
gets
to him.
excited. Okay, okay, I'm gonna let you go.
Kawhi Leonard stopping a dime pull ups and like magnet hands on defense ain't coming out of that tunnel for the Clippers, all right?
Mm-mm.
So, what we have here is the least exciting good team. Paul George has a real shifty handle and elite shot making ability for sure when he's locked in, but nobody's
Mm-hmm.
tuning in to watch George Paul.
No,
If there's an option to have Steve Ballmer like picture in picture next to the scoreboard, I'm tuning in more to Clipper games. Like this guy is an owner, bro. He's got like Robert Sacre level celebrations
I
with the
would. You would too,
additions.
Scott. If you were worth $100 billion, you would.
Yeah,
You probably be just as happy.
100%. He's Robert Sacre with pit sweat and just have the ability to have no regard to how uncomfortable he's making the people next to him.
Oh
And
my
that I can only,
goodness.
like you said, that only comes after reaching billions and billions of dollars.
100 times over. That's the only way you can. If you want to be happy, do not. I hope for people at home, he's not happy because of his team. That's a very small percentage. This man, he's lost the ability to be perceived. He has
Mhm.
no idea how people perceive him whatsoever. This man on national television was seen squeezing, squeezing two grown men's thighs. He had one right hand on a guy's left thigh and his left hand on a dude's right thigh. And
Pit sweat.
he was holding on for dear life going into the timeout. And TNT panned and he was just mouth open, hands on thighs. He was really excited. I hope he knows those men. They look like nice young men. I hope he knows them. But this man, we need that picture in picture during Clipper games. Me personally, originally I have no interest to watch the Clippers. And in my mind, they would have been like in the bottom like 10 or whatever. But I have to move them up. I would have had them a lot higher.
Question. Is
Yes.
this about the Clippers or the people in front of them
It
or the
it's
other teams?
it's definitely about there's not five teams I get more pleasure out of than seeing a team kick their ass. And I would tune in to watch the Clippers get their asses whooped over a lot of the teams in front of them.
So
And
I hear
with
you.
that, I had to
I
move
hear
them
you.
up because I'm always down to see George Paul hit the backside of the backboard.
I hear, but that's why I have them low. To me, is
Mm-hmm.
is is they're a good team, man. They're a good team.
No, no,
They're
no.
deep, and
Yeah,
so
for
it's
now, yeah.
they're not getting their ass kicked every night. So it's I'm not trying to tune into a Clipper game and their shitty uniforms and ugly ass
They do
court,
have really bad uniforms.
and you got what's his name, Bango. Like no thank you. All right, like if they were worse, maybe, but like, and nobody cares about the Clippers, bro. That's why
That's why I like it. I like them to get hyped up because they're gonna get hyped in a minute. If they keep this up when we go into January, this is gonna make the second part of the season so much more entertaining because they're gonna crumble and you know it and I know it. I'm low key. I hope they're in the playoff picture in the next 4 months because we know how that story is gonna end for Clipper fans, and it's gonna be the most entertaining collapse we've seen.
Me and you, we're just gonna sit back and uh-huh.
It would have been way too easy to watch this team just tank every single night. So I like this. I want people to get some sort of expectation. But right now, Paul George, we both know there may
Oh,
not
he's
be
balling, dude.
there may not be 10 players in the league more talented than Paul George. I
But
don't
he's gotta
know
be
if it's
locked in.
10. He's got if he's locked in and there are no expectations, that man is a straight hoop. But I'm gonna let him ball out right now. But I want to see this man come March, though. I want to see what happens. I need pandemic on my timeline, on my Twitter timeline. I need pandemic trending.
All right. At number 24, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder are kind of like the Goonies of the NBA, right? You got like, yeah, you have Shea Gildress Alexander, just a dynamic, unique guard, kind of moves like nobody we've really seen. Or definitely not today.
He's a
Like
monster.
he's a monster, but like he's just unique. Like in an era where people players are becoming more and more archetypes, he stands alone. And also they have like Poku, who's like a 7'8" guy who's
80
about
pounds.
80 pounds, who jacks up seven threes, can't make one. Uh, but he's just interesting. Lou Dort, he's harassing your favorite NBA star up and down the floor. That's a treat to watch, honestly.
He could go
He's,
0 of 8 from downtown, or he could go 8 of 9 from downtown. It just all depends.
yeah, and then you sprinkle in some Josh Giddey throwing dimes,
Oh my
laser
goodness.
dimes, and you really
Oh,
have a fun team to watch, right? The thing with OKC is they play really hard, but they need a complete rebrand. All right, I'm not a fan of their colorway. I'm not a fan of their uniforms. I don't even like the logo. All right, like how do you go? What makes it worse is they were the Sonics. Like how do you go from the Sonics, this entity that is lasted throughout time, where you still see people wearing Sean Kemp jerseys and stuff, and
of
now
course.
you got like this pro am looking uniform.
Oh my god.
I cannot stand it.
You know what? It's funny because OKC has actually one of the cleanest uniforms of all time, in my estimation. The
Oh,
navy, the navy blue ones with the white lettering when they had KD and Russ together. That uniform specifically is one of the iciest uniforms. The dark navy blue with the white. I don't know why that's an alternative. I believe they should just form their new rebrand around a navy blue because the blue they have right now looks like a third grader got a hold of a Crayola set and just started drawing all over something. Like that's what
the blues
it's
bad, dude.
tacky. It's tacky. It's a very tacky blue.
And the orange, like it's like they're like, well, the Knicks already have that color, so let's change it up. And like you said, I think the third grade's a really good analogy. They
Yeah,
do have
that's what
some
it
nice
looks like.
alternatives. Like some of their alternatives
Their
are really
alternatives
nice.
are icier than their actual like home and away jersey. That's the problem. That's the issue with me.
All right, 23. I have the Sacramento Kings.
Oh, Sacramento Queens.
The Queens, yeah, the Queens. All right, De'Aaron Fox, he may be the fastest player up and down the floor. He, honestly, like you combine that with Halliburton, DeHolmes, Lobs, and Buddy Hield over there crying on the bench as he loses minutes to the rookie, fucking Davion Mitchell.
But
You
as
know,
he gains votes for six man of the year, he's having a very weird season. By the way, just on a
yeah, what's up
side
with
note,
that mustache?
he's in a weird spot. I'm not sure what's going on with this man. I know he just switched agents.
He's
He
going
didn't
through
sign a
something, dude. He's got some
he
weird facial hair stuff going on. Yeah,
leave my bohemian brother alone.
bro, it's like when a girl like dyes her hair. You know what I mean? And you're like, what happened? Honestly, though, the reason I like to watch the Kings right on League Pass, I'm something that I like to watch all the different teams, throughout the week and stuff. And the reason I like to tune in the Kings is because their defense is so inept that it's a realistic chance the opponent can reach 130 points. All right. It's just, yeah, it's really too bad because you have this excitement on offense. The defense is bad. Both teams, there's just points for everybody. But the problem is that they're the Kings.
You get a
And
bucket. You get a bucket.
behind Luke
You get a
Walton and Vivek, they just they seem a way to always fall short, including on our rankings.
Oh my goodness. Did you hear about Tristan Thompson's quote about not needing to be motivated by a coach?
Eh,
Like,
it's he's friends with Kyrie.
he went off. It was pretty funny. He said, I don't need no damn coach to motivate me. He said, the day I look to a coach to motivate me is the day I'm not playing in the league anymore. I was like, bro, that day might have been a few seasons ago.
I think it's I'm not mad at that comment because these are professionals, right? And at some level, I think at the professional level, there's a level of accountability you have to have to yourself and motivation. You definitely have to because you're playing a kid's game for a king's ransom. So if you're not motivated to play, don't play because somebody else is motivated. I promise you that.
Scott, I'm gonna tell you this. Tell me you don't like your fucking coach without telling me you don't like your fucking coach, bro. That is a terrible quote. That is a terrible quote. You would put it like this, because I know he's like keeping it real, right? Is he saying that Greg Popovich is his coach? Now, two things can be true. I agree with you in theory. You know what I'm saying? You're a professional, handle your business. But is he saying that if Greg Popovich is his coach? Is he saying that if Steve Kerr is his coach? Is he saying that?
I don't know because it's Tristan, dude.
That's a fair point.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest.
Fair enough. We're gonna move on. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, number 22. How you like the list so far? Decent.
I'm oh no no no. I'm absolutely loving this. I'm definitely living for it right now.
All right, so 22. I have the Houston Rockets. Watching a young team play with no point guard, no structure, it's honestly equally exhilarating as is hair pulling. Right? You look at a guy like Jalen Green who has the tools, all the tools to become a scoring champion in his future. I don't know if Porter Jr. is for real or just like one of those bad stats or good stats, bad team guy. Um, Alperen Şengün, man,
He's a
this man is
beast.
so smooth in the post, spin moves, step throughs. His bag is unlimited. And then you got it. The other fun thing about them is you can look at the bench and you're like, did John Wall bring Wendy's to the bench? Like the Rockets, it's a roller coaster ride watching them. Um, I'm not a fan of their court. I think there's way too much red going on.
There's a lot of fucking red happening. There's a
There's
lot. They need to cut that with something, bro. They need to cut that shit.
there's way too much red. I don't understand the bear, like the build a bear they got and the Rockets uniform. I don't understand it, but whatever.
At the end of the day, the Houston Rockets is the NBA's version of the Rugrats because they're out there running amok. That's what their team looks like. A bunch of young pups just at Christian. The crazy thing is they're gonna end up being the farm system for the top teams in the NBA in about 4 years.
Oh, they're gonna
This
be the
is
Oakland A's.
this You're gonna see Christian Wood on a championship contender in like 2 years max.
It might be
Jalen
two
Green is gonna.
months.
It honestly, no. I think they're all. I think they're guaranteed to finish this season. Uh, all time Rugrats. They're definitely going to be all together this year for sure. Next year though, they could be gone. Like you say, Kevin Porter Jr. I don't know what's going on with him. I feel like he's got promise. I feel like he could win a 6 man on a really good team. Sengun, again, he looks like he's got promise. But I look at this team and I'm like, 2 or 3 of these guys are going to get traded to really good teams and they're going to pop. And we're going to look back in like 7 seasons when Jalen Green is balling, but he needs help. And we're going to be like, Christian Wood look real nice right now. Kevin Porter Jr. would look real nice right now. That's what it's going to look like. It's going to be like a baby OKC, just without all the MVPs being dished out.
All right, moving on to number 21. I got the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, right? They got Anthony Edwards. He's pretty much as exciting as a young NBA star comes.
Yes.
On and off the floor, this man's dynamic. You got D'Angelo Russell jacking up threes every chance he gets. Cat is just as versatile offensively as a center as we've ever seen in the league, to be honest. But yet, honestly, this team is boring to watch. God damn, dude. Their offense is just your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn, with zero effort defensively. Like, honestly, your best hope at like finding something fun when you're watching the Timberwolves play right now is hoping that somebody claps back at Patrick Beverly and you get a small altercation.
Or you hope someone is dumb enough to make the wrong business decision and try and jump with Ant.
Yeah, exactly. And like, what's up with the soccer uniforms, bro?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a fan of the green and they look like the Seattle Seahawks out there. That's what they look like.
Yeah, that's all I got for Minnesota.
Do you know who their coach is?
Yeah, it's Chris Finch, I believe, right?
Yeah, Finchy, right?
Yeah, he came in last year, and he's actually. I was excited for that hire, to be honest, because he's kind of have a track history of developing these versatile bigs, and when we get Cat in there, you're like, man, like this is exactly who this guy has been developing all these years. But I don't see a motor in Cat, man. I don't see the defensive effort or anything, so I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put it out there because I know I said it off camera, but Anthony Edwards, I said he was gonna get 50, and like 3 weeks later, the man dropped 48. I need everyone to hear me out here. This man is gonna drop 60 plus this season. He's gonna have one of the greater performances of the year. So if you're flipping through your channels and you see the Minnesota Timberwolves, you might want to peep because you might see something historic. This man has the greenest light right now. They're running amok. Your turn, my turn, and in that system, he's gonna snap again. He can go nuclear.
He's fun to watch because he brings like a football player
100%.
type of game where you could tell he hasn't played basketball his whole life. You could just tell
No, you
the way
can
he moves.
absolutely. Yep.
Like he's got like some power behind his strides and stuff. Like he doesn't look like a basketball player when he's playing.
I love his energy out there. When the ball is in his hands, I mean, hey, it could be an air ball or it could be nothing. But I don't know how good of a perimeter shot he actually has because he's so inconsistent. Like one game, he can literally go like 8 of 13 from downtown, and the next game he'll end up with 10 points and was like 1 of 12 from downtown. I don't know what you're gonna get, but NBA League Pass, Anthony Edwards is must see TV if there's nothing else on for sure because you might see history. Just throwing it out there.
All right, number 20. Moving on here. I placed the Washington Wizards. The Wizards.
Oh my goodness.
They've been the best Eastern Conference team up to this point and winning without Beal, believe it or not. You know, he's been hurt. They play a real tough defensive game, making all the correct rotations and switches. Just yet, I'm just not all that interested still. Like, to be honest, like
I can't get past their point guard. Spencer Dinwiddie looks like the second coming of Ronald McDonald. That's literally what Spencer Dinwiddie looks like. And I can't take him serious out there. He's a hooper, but he bothers me.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. I'm waiting for a uniform redesign and a Kuzma hair dye, and they might be able to draw me in.
First of all, Kuzma has been doing a lot of chirping, by the way. For people that don't know, this man's came out
Nothing's new.
and he's flapping them gums, talking about, oh yeah, I've got opportunity. This is what I've always wanted, to have my own team and be that guy to really, do what I got to do. Guys, this man is talking. He is averaging 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists, shooting 41% from the floor. For context, this man's rookie season, he was averaging 16 points. His sophomore season, he was averaging almost 19 points. I'm still waiting to see the dude that's in these interviews. I'm still waiting to find out where is the 20 plus point per. He was talking shit and coming for Laker Nation, basically saying he was limited playing next to LeBron. That's what
It's
he's
not
been
there,
saying for
dude.
the past 5 months. And I tune
It's
in because I'm hating. I just want to see what he's talking about.
it's not there.
It's
Kuzma,
just not there.
he's interesting, man, because right when he's coming out of Flint, but right when he got drafted, he went Hollywood, and he came when we first saw him his rookie year, right? He was kind of an inconsistent outside shooter, but he had nights. He had this sweeping hook shot on the drive, but that was kind of it. Um, Over the years with the Lakers, he became a better defender, better rebounder, better cutter, but his shooting never really improved. We stopped seeing the drives. He just never was a great ball handler. I still don't think he's even an average ball handler. I think he's below average ball handling. I just don't think that's in there. And if you're a Washington fan, I wouldn't wait for it. Washington, you should be excited because this team, Wes Unseld Jr. has done a really good job, and you got a lot of winners in that locker room, and so they're playing really tough, great defense, and you have guys playing that role. Montrezl Harrell has been. This is the Clippers
Trez
Montrezl Harrell we've seen.
Trez is balling right now, and Vogel. I gotta believe that this seat's getting a little hot when we see some of these other dudes balling out like this, because you had the reigning six man of the year, and you basically benched this dude when we were offensively deprived. Like, we could not get a bucket, and you had this guy riding the pine because he didn't fit into your perfect little defensive box.
I don't even think it's that. Honestly, I mean, we've talked about this before, and I don't want to go too down because we're on a different podcast, but I attribute that mostly to Frank not having a backbone with Schroeder because I'll go down to my grave saying the vision was for Schroeder and Harold to come off the bench and be that duo. But that's for another day. All right.
No, we gonna revisit this Wizards team maybe in the next fall. We're gonna do a deep dive in this team, but continue.
All right. Number 19. Getting the top 20 now. I got the Toronto Raptors. Who doesn't
Oh,
love watching Drake jump up and down, rooting for his hometown Raptors? Personally, Nick Nurse, besides Spoelstra, is my favorite coach in the NBA. There's nobody in the NBA doing more daring defensive schemes. They come out and draft Scotty Barnes. It's just only unlocked an element to make this team dangerous defensively. They're picking up. You watch Barnes, his size and his will to defend NBA superstars full court. It just jumps off the tape, honestly. Um, you couple that with Drake's younger brother, Fred Van Vliet, and the Dragon at the two guard positions. And we're in for a good time here. You got two crafty guards. You got uh, another thing Nick Nurse has done really well with his team is taking guys and develop their jump shot. You'd look at Siakam. OG Anunoby. I think he's going to be able to do the same thing with Barnes to make him a legit superstar in this league. Uh, Not only
Barnes
that,
is nice.
but their uniforms and that logo with the claws going over the basketball, it's S tier in the NBA.
No, yeah, it's nice. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sleeping on him. I just cannot watch Toronto. I love Scotty Barnes. I watch the guy's highlights, but no team takes them seriously. So the level of competition out there for me when I watch them looks very boring because everyone is expecting to go in there and just run over them. Funny thing is, they're not an easy out. And this is a shout out for these other NBA teams, especially if you go to the six, they can beat you. If you don't take this team seriously, they're well coached, like Scott just alluded to, and they got hoopers. And there's still some championship pedigree hangover in that locker room. But for me personally, no one takes them seriously, and I don't feel like I get a good game all around from both teams when I watch their games.
I think it's fair. Just to quickly expand on your point there,
Mhm.
I think that's just the NBA today, man. And you know, making this list and making like the preview list and stuff. There's so much talent in this league now
There's a
where
lot.
I
There's a lot.
you can't go into any city and just expect to run teams over. Like that just doesn't exist except for like four places, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the Cavs will beat you if you come
Well,
in
okay. Well,
and you're not
first of all,
playing well.
we're gonna get to them in a second. We got to hold up the caps. We're gonna get back to them.
But I'm saying I use them as an example because they've been a bottom dweller without LeBron forever. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I don't care what team you're going into, like they will beat you if you're not ready to play.
Absolutely,
All right.
absolutely.
Anything else?
No. We're good.
Okay. Number 18, I actually do have Cleveland here.
Nice. Let's get. I gotta get into Cleveland. I need
Okay. This team is huge, right?
to.
They're
Massive.
they're rolling out lineups with Markkinen, Mobley, and Allen on the floor. And it
Oh
is a
my goodness.
treat in today's shrinking NBA. When Sexland is healthy, they have a backcourt combination ripe for growth and success. Ricky Rubio is bound to give you at least one pass to have you impressed a game. He's got the slowest jumper, but somehow he always gets it off. Uh,
Always, always.
for me, I, I I know we've talked about Mobley a little bit on the pod. It's well documented. He was our number one prospect, and I feel like he's proven it. Um, they're kind of held back by the branding, right? And it's something they've tried changing it time and time and time again, and they just never seem to find a winning combination.
No, that they don't seem to be able to bank right on their branding. It well, I feel that's what happens when LeBron leaves. You know what I'm saying? Like after LeBron left, you can just feel the air get sucked out of the queue. You just feel like it just feels flat. Like the buzz that man had when they were in the queue. Teams didn't want to go in there. Like the fans were like rabid. It was lit. But no, Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken, they're top 10 defensively. They're nice. I love them. The reason why I wasn't the biggest fan, and I get where you were going with the whole any team can beat you on a given night. This Cavs team is good. I don't believe at
They're
this
good.
point
They're good.
they belong in that breath. This team will beat you, and I think they're gathering a lot of attention. I believe teams are taking them way more seriously now than they are with Toronto. They got dudes you got to reckon with because they have like a nice blend. You hear this, Houston? You hear this? They have a nice blend of vets and young guys. This whole experiment of just rolling out a bunch of 19-year-olds, that ain't how, no. You're building bad habits. You got to have these dudes help them become a better professional at the end of the day because they're all professionals, but there's tiers to professionalism. And having a vet in a locker room like a Kevin Love and a Ricky Rubio does wonders for Sexland. It does wonders for a Mobley. Before we started, before the season started, we were talking with expectations, and I was very uh, I was on it with I would play Allen and Mobley together a lot. I would roll them out there. I would make teams when they play us, they have to adjust to our size and our style. Because when you have dudes like that that can cover ground the way they can, why not? Yeah,
Not only
I mean,
that, like that combination you're talking about, just Mobley and Allen. Mobley is I know we rave about him a lot, man, but like I just can't get
not enough.
enough
No, no,
Evan
no, no,
Mobley.
not enough, not
I
enough,
just
not
can't
enough.
get enough of Evan Mobley. Like this guy can step out to the perimeter and guard your point guard, honestly.
Yes.
And then Allen just gives him assurance because he could play center in today's league,
Hmm.
but he's capable enough to step out the perimeter and play these guys defensively. Like it doesn't matter. So that combination is lethal. They defensively on the interior are elite, honestly.
I'd say this right now, and it's crazy. It's really random, but I'm only gonna say this because they're the Cleveland Cavaliers. You put a healthy Braun on that team, you'd be surprised. They get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know if they win it, but they get to
They're
the Eastern
winning it.
Conference. They are, aren't they?
They're gonna win it, bro. Like
They
honestly,
are.
like
They
I mean
got
the
some hoopers on that team.
LeBron, you're saying a healthy LeBron. So the only thing you'd want more on that team is like some shooting, but you could make a trade. Like you could flip a Coro who's not healthy right now, and you could get a shooter
Mm-hmm.
for a
You,
Coro.
you
You know what I
you
mean?
could get someone over there. They're literally a piece away. I mean, that's like I just went to like the greatest of all time,
I know,
arguably. Like
right? Like
they're the goat away from being in the Eastern Conference
that's
Final.
it.
That's it. But you know what I mean. I don't know. Look. I love Braun. You ain't putting him with Orlando Magic right now the way they're currently constructed. They're not winning it if you put LeBron in Orlando. But you put him with that Cleveland squad, or you put KD with that Cleveland squad. I'm not gonna say KD, but there's some
I
players
will.
you put right. Like they got players, man. And you heard it here first. Scott and I would have both drafted Evan Mobley with the number one overall pick.
Yeah. All right. I think we gave Cleveland some love there. I like it.
Oh no, I like it. I like it too.
All right, number 17. I have the Dallas Mavericks. One
Oh, nice,
I
nice.
got them one of the best one man shows in the NBA, honestly. Luca, he just does it all. He'll impress you with the step back threes. He can make every pass in the book, and he's just so technical, man. Every little shoulder fake, head fake, pump fake, jab step, he does it knowing that all five guys are watching him, and it's gonna make the defense react in a certain way. Um, they've this year they surround him with more shooting than years past, and also they got kind of like a comedy side of them because there's always a chance Jason Kidd ends up using Mark Cuban as a dry mop just to use just to buy himself an extra timeout or something.
I'm gonna say this about the Dallas Mavericks. This might be a hot take. Boring. I
They
I
are
I
because the go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I I can't get with Luca. I understand what he represents. He's a phenomenal player. He's amazing. But Luca is the equivalent of hockey to me. I'm not going to watch hockey during the regular season, but in the playoffs, playoff hockey is some of the greatest entertainment you can watch in all of sports. Playoff hockey is different, and that's Luca for me. Seeing him in the postseason is electrifying, but he doesn't carry me throughout a season personally with the way he plays the game. It falls a little flat for me. There's not enough fizz there.
Well, they remind me and I mean this is more like the Carlisle style that they have with Luca, right? Where it's kind of James Harden-ish, where you have
Mm-hmm,
one guy just dominating every possession, all us his time in Houston. But I
mm-hmm.
agree with you because in the postseason, what makes Luca is he has an answer for everything you're doing
Yes,
defensively. And you don't really get to see that until the playoffs. And you see the Clippers try to double him and he's got an answer. You try to see him press him, and they got an answer. They put a small a guard on
mm-hmm.
him, they put a big on him. It doesn't matter. He has got an
It
answer
doesn't.
for everything.
He's a magician in the postseason. Like your coach is going against Luca's ability at the end of the day. The game plan, the schemes. He's a magician. I don't know if there's five players I'd rather watch in the playoffs over Luca. I'm gonna be honest. He's on. It's a short list, but regular season, I'm just kind of over it. Like it looks like he's toying with the opposition, and that's a credit to him. Nothing looks difficult for this guy in the regular season. It just comes down to, is he gonna have enough help on a given night? And
Yep.
now
The
we see
Mavericks,
Porzingis having like big games finally. But
I was gonna say, like, I have them at 17 for a reason. They're honest.
exactly, exactly. I was happy you hurry up and set them because I was about to say I'm not. I could name 15 teams I would rather watch over the Dallas Mavericks for sure.
Right. Number 16, I got the Portland Trail Blazers. With every Blazer loss, the tension just continues to grow as to what to make of Damian Lillard's future. Lillard hasn't had a great start to the season, but honestly, he still holds the potential for one of the NBA's most exhilarating experiences, and that's a Lillard barrage.
Mm-hmm.
They got Norman Powell and Larry Nance Jr. kind of bring a high flying act and just ready to make any Sports Center clip any given night.
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
CJ McCollum, he's a slippery ball handler, hitting smooth pull up jumpers all over the floor. It doesn't hurt either. They got one of the best logos, and their court is just amazing to look out. That half red, half black look, I love it.
No, the court's nice, love everything, but again, boring. Just very boring. And I'm gonna explain to the casuals will definitely understand where I'm coming from. I would consider myself I would consider myself and yourself like avid like fanatics of the NBA, but just levels though. Portland is the team that I'm not gonna watch their games unless I know like Damon's going off or whatever. I get like a
You need the
Twitter
text.
exactly. But at the end of most of all their games, I will go and check every box score for the most part. I cannot say the same for the Indianas or the Orlando Magics. I'm not checking the box score. I don't give a damn. But because it's Dame and it's Portland, I'll at least check a nightly box score. But I will not watch their like I don't know that it just falls flat for me. Like it's just very predictable, very boring. Again, it's your turn, my turn. Dame, honestly, it's hard to watch because I was a fan before this season, like a really big fan, and he's struggling, and it's not easy to watch someone that you support to see them struggle this bad. And then after the article about him dissing the Lakers, I don't really give a damn about Dame anymore. To be honest with you, like you made your bet, lying in Portland, you're gonna be a loser there. Yeah, he's a loser. At the end of the day, I'm sorry. If you're gonna come for the Lakers, I'm gonna come for you. And if you gonna tell AD and LeBron James thanks but no thanks, I'm cool. So enjoy yourself up in Portland, Dame.
Little mic drop there from Christian. I have to respect it.
Hold on, I gotta talk to our fans real quick. This man got with Chris Haynes, and they did a full on breakdown of LeBron Anthony Davis trying to swoon Damian to come play in LA. And at the end of everything, Dame basically says, "Yeah, I'll keep you posted, LeBron, but it's not for me. All my family's up in Portland, and it's special. And I saw you what Giannis did. So basically, you just wasted the King's time. First of all, no one wastes the King time, and no one says no to the Lakers. I'm sorry, especially if you're gonna look like that in Portland. Same old story, because Portland would be better off without him. The pieces that we would have given, look at Washington right now. We have some decent pieces. They would be better off without Damian Lillard right now. That team is going nowhere fast.
I can't go that far because Washington, I know he's not healthy right now, but they still have Beal. So like he still have
Perhaps he
like
been there though.
he's been there a good majority of the season. He's recently injured.
Okay.
McCollum just isn't a guy that's going to inspire you to really and I don't know about I haven't seen enough from Chauncey, honestly, as a head coach to say like he can bring the best out of these guys at the level that Wes Unseld has. So it's tough to say. I can't go that far. I'm in the boat where if you have one of those guys, you do what you can to keep them because they don't come around. They don't in the NBA. You don't get those 5-star guys off trees. You know what I mean? Like,
You know what? That's fair from Portland's perspective. Absolutely, that's fair. From Dame's perspective, like I said, If you think you're Giannis, then you got bigger issues because you're not Giannis. You're not LeBron that brought a championship to Cleveland. You're the second best player on a championship team at the end of the day. You're not Steph, fam. I'm sorry, Damian Lillard, but you might be top 75, but you are not Stephen Curry. You're not that guy, pal. So have fun in Portland.
All right, Christian, we have reached the halfway point of our NBA League Pass rankings. We're at number 15. These are kind of, it's the top half of the league, man. Cream of the crop. What do you think? What are you excited for these teams coming up?
I am actually because like the little prep list I had where we're going a little we're definitely on two separate pages, but not big. They're just like maybe separated by like a couple slots. But the fact that this is like the top 15, no, I'm excited to see where you got some of these teams listed. I was excited when I found out you had Dallas at 17. I was like, I hope he does not put Luke in the top 10 because no one is watching Dallas play. I do have one of we have a mutual. I'm pretty sure he watches Dallas play, but we have a mutual friend that I know probably watches Dallas games when he can. But most people I don't feel like are watching Dallas games. But yeah, I'm excited. Let's get it going.
All right, number 15. I got the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh,
This season, Ja Morant has been must-see TV. Explosive dunks, crazy layups, threes. He's given you everything you've ever wanted. Unlike Dallas, like you talked about, Memphis is not a one-man band, though. Jaren Jackson, he's a budding future all-star. Dylan Brooks, when healthy, is a nose to the grindstone defender who's never seen a shot attempt he doesn't like. They even feature a unique player like Slow Mo Anderson, who has found a way to use his leisurely styled game to his advantage. The Memphis Grizzlies, I put him right in the middle of the pack. I think Ja Morant, he's he's everything you've ever wanted in like watchability.
I can't
Uh,
tell. I can't tell. You just disrespected this man, put him at 15. You've got 14 teams you would rather watch than Ja Morant. This is slander. This is slander. There are not 14 players I would rather watch than this is ridiculous. This is whoo, you Ja Morant. The teams. Are you kidding me? Have you watched this guy? Have you watched their team? I love their energy. I love what the coaches do. How on earth the uniforms aren't ugly. This man is gonna jump over the other team's best player. The watchability. Like how I'll make this simple. How are there 14 teams more watchable than the Memphis? Please tell me that.
this is not a knock on Memphis. I don't want you to take it as a knock on Memphis. I like this team, man. We've talked off the pod many times, and I really like Ja Morant. I've told you Ja was my number one coming to the draft. I'm a really big Desmond Bain fan. I think this kid, he's made a real big jump in scoring. I think he could keep it up because that jumper is silky smooth, and I don't see it going anywhere else. But
I need you
you
to get
know,
to the. I need you to get to the Nicki Minaj, to the Kim Kardashian. Get to the butt, please. Get to the butt.
but it's Memphis. It, it's
Oh
it's
my
Memphis. It's
goodness.
the Grizzlies, and at the end of the day, like there's just teams that are more impactful
Watchable?
or more watchable currently.
Oh, 14? 14.
I've got 14 teams.
Oh, okay.
Where
Well,
I'm
you know
interested.
what?
Where did you have them on your list?
I have Memphis seventh in watchability.
Seventh. Okay.
I have John Morant is that dude. First of all, he is probably the most athletic point guard we've ever seen. He's got way more wiggle than Westbrook ever had. Westbrook's strong and all that, which is nice. D Rose, he had wiggle too. John Morant's verticality is next level. This man, where he takes off from and the strength in which he does it, he also changes. Like he's got like his Euro. John Morant is all time. He's an all time specimen. all-time specimens aren't 14th for me in watchability. That is an all-time specimen.
Okay, so to me, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad if you. This is. I think it just comes to like, flavor of ice cream. You know what I mean? Like
He also shows up in big games too, which I like. Like if
he
he's going
does.
against a Steph, he's going against the Lakers in La La Land in Staples Center. He plays best against the best competition. This is a dude that eliminated Stephen Curry from the playoffs last year. From the play, no, at the end of the day, because people say, "Oh, like Steph didn't have Clay, he got Draymond." Who did John Morant have?
Yeah,
Draymond is a
Jackson was hurt,
Draymond
right?
is a three. Yep, Draymond's a three-time champion. He's a two-time Olympic champion, defensive player of the year. John Morant went into Golden State and beat them in a winner take all. That's big time.
I know you think it's blasphemy, but you're not going to hear anything. I'm not going to say anything bad about this team. Like
But you already did though. You uttered 15. You that's the, you literally already disrespect.
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll take it. You know, I'm not.
That's fair. That's fair. We're gonna do a nightcap on the Memphis Grizzlies at the end of this list.
Off air, we could talk.
Okay, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Hold on, guys. I'm pouring on the glass here.
Oh
So
my goodness.
this is our first podcast since I've been in Texas.
It is. It is. It is. Oh my
So
gosh.
I don't know if you noticed my steer horns in the back. It's not
I,
mine,
I,
but
no, I saw that and I was trying to make out what it was. I was like, okay, all right.
shit makes me laugh though. All right, back to the list. All right, number 14, right in front of the disrespected Memphis Grizzlies.
Absolutely. I gotta hear this.
I got the Phoenix Suns.
Oh my God.
The Suns, man, they dove 10 toes deep in the CP3 style of play. They've slowed the game down, but somehow they've been able to make it fun. All right. And they've done it by effectively implementing all types of counters to the base pick and roll attack. And they use flare screens, decoy movements, cuts, anything you can think of, like in a half court set, they use it. Devin Booker, he's limited with his range, but still consistently hits tough shots off the bounce, jumpers, whether somebody's in his face or not. DeAndre DeAndre can't get Peyton has bought into being a rim runner.
What are you sipping on? I need to know what you're sipping on because there's no way that was a freestyle. I know you wrote that down. You had to have written that down. This is your prep work. This is what goes on in your prep time. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, I just hear the Kawhi laugh.
Word man get paid.
Oh my goodness, that was funny. Oh man. Listen, this Phoenix Suns team is just missionary to me. I'm sorry. It is so vanilla. They don't have one play I'd rather watch over John Morant, just in reference. Booker's game is very boring. It's boring. And it's sad to say because I don't want to sound like I'm not appreciating what Booker brings to the game of basketball. He's a phenomenal talent. I'm not trying to hate. It's just a little throwbacky for me. He's so limited athletically. If you really want to understand how athletic the league has become, just watch Devin Booker play, and you're gonna be like, why he look like that? Like
Yeah.
his athletic, he's so limited athletically, and he's a marksman. You know what I'm saying, from the mid range master, but they're just so underwhelming, and I feel like they're a team. They might be top three most professional, and I say that in this when they go into an arena, they don't care who they're going to play. They're going to stick to the script. And you've heard guys like Kenny and Kenny and Shaq and Chuck say, you can win 40 games in this league just by playing hard. Just by playing hard, you could win 40 games because each night there's a team on in there. Half their dudes are not playing hard. And that's a level of professionalism that a lot of these teams don't carry. Phoenix in the regular season are going to win a lot of games. They come in, Chris Paul's a great leader, and they're going to win games. But when the rubber needs to meet the road and they go against other elite competition, I'm sorry. Me personally, I think they were very fraudulent finalists last season. They're not entertaining to me personally. They're boring. Chris Paul, I don't like watching him play. Excuse me. At this stage in his career, I'm just not a fan.
So I think I might have overrated the just tactician style of half court basketball that they play because it is really beautiful to me, right?
Mhm.
And I'll admit, like I might have overrated a little bit, just like the flare screens, the down screens, coming up curls, and like they do a lot of stuff in the half court that I'm a fan of, right?
Mhm.
Because and but with that being said, I'd also put down they don't really have the best uniforms, and honestly, they really lack any like high flyers to put this team into contention or fun, right?
Right.
Um, I think where I might have initially where I put this team maybe in front of Memphis is like his while they are structured and stuff like that, you still have the unpredictability and of just the asshole that Chris Paul is, and
Okay. 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 Okay.
and
That's
and
fair.
like the unintentional comedy of Karen Payne's face, like
That you know what, they've got a lot more character as a team, as a collective, rather
you got
than
Jay
in
Crowder's
individuals.
hairline, like
And his flailing leg on his 3 point jump shots. He's literally kicking dudes in the shins, but somehow he's still getting the foul call.
the reason I like watching them is one the half court stuff that I'm just a fan of. Like me, I've always been a fan of like the tactician stuff, like but also the incendiary outside random stuff. And I'll admit, like I might have overrated them. I probably like if I did this list again, I probably would have had Memphis in front of them. Um,
But you gotta be honest to the people now. Fulson, yeah, you're a fan of tactician, but you've also been a fan for a very long time of Mr. CP3. So you're a little bit of a homer with this pick for sure.
100% because they like my opening sentence for them was they bought in to the Chris Paul system, to the
Ten
Chris
toes down,
Paul stuff,
100%.
10 toes down. And Chris Paul has always been my guy. And at the point guard position, the position I played growing up and stuff, that was the guy that I looked at as the standard. So yeah, there's definitely a soft spot there. But
They're a piece though. They're a piece away, or like Cam Johnson. They're a piece from someone stepping up to make them very entertaining. Like if DeAndre Ayton
honestly, if
could
they had a
fill that,
dunker,
if he could just be like a dog, like they're missing that one piece for watchability for me. That because their fans are, hey, you talk about atmosphere. What they were doing in the playoffs was something special. Them fans were on some shit. I don't know what they was giving out when they was coming into the arena, but those fans were fucking losing their shit. Okay, they threw a parade just for getting to the finals. Like they're
yeah.
lit. So I give them that much, but yeah, okay, not bad, not bad.
All right, moving on. Number 13, I have the Boston Celtics. Boston. They remind me of Minnesota in their your turn, my turn, unvaried offense with higher upside, though, because they got Jason Tatum and they got Jaylen Brown, to the
Yeah,
NBA's best young two-way players.
easily.
Marcus Smart, classic, irrational confidence shooter. And then you got Dennis Schroeder come out there still looking for his 40 million.
No, he's no fam. This man's looking for about $74 million right now.
Exactly. Like I have them so high though, right? Because one, it's the Celtics. The brand in the NBA is a big deal. They got that parquet
For no
floor.
reason. For no reason, but we agree. Yes, it's a big deal. For no reason, though.
Um, but also like to me, this is a semblance of individuals. This is not a team. And
No,
it's the one squad in the NBA that I look at and I'm like, this is a semblance of individuals,
it's like
right?
an AAU team
Yeah, they make for great drama and
easily.
the body language doctors, they're gonna come out everywhere. And man, this is a team, bro, that they had a players only meeting 2 weeks into the season. Okay. 2 weeks in the season, you got a new coach and you're having players only meeting. Say, fuck that guy. We gotta figure this shit out.
That
like
just
this,
tells you how toxic the. That tells me one thing: what was being discussed in that players only meeting has came up more than once before the season. That's what
100%.
these are issues that have stained that locker room for the past few seasons. That's what that told me. With a new coach, you should not be having a players only meeting. Now, I'm cool 2 weeks into the season. I'm perfectly fine with that. Like the Lakers probably need one. I'm gonna be honest with you. They probably need one. But they've got a coach there. You know, it is what it is. But that's crazy. And you hit it on the nail. They still have to be high on watchability just because it looks like they're about to implode at any fucking moment. And I love it because they're the most overrated franchise in the entire NBA. They've got one championship in the last 36 years.
Yeah, and
It might be more than 36.
I know we're LA kids, but doing some digging, they're not even they're like the third team in their city.
If you take all their stats, their team stats from the merger to now, and you leave off the Bill Russell fam, they're a poverty stricken franchise. Poverty stricken. They're trash.
All right, I think that's how the Celtics are trash. Okay,
They are boo boo basura.
Basura. Number 12. I got the Denver
Number 12.
Nuggets.
Okay. The big honey. Okay.
Big honey. Nikola Jokic, as you said, the big honey.
The big honey.
This guy has got me shaking my head every time I have the pleasure watching this game.
Mm, 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 mm.
Honestly, his physique alone is enough to have you question why he's on the floor. But then you see the Michelin man grab a rebound, bring the ball up the floor, and take a no look pass and just hit a cutting nugget for an open bucket. And you're like, well, the only reason I believe that is because I just saw him do it a minute ago. Like,
Exactly. Exactly. But he's that guy.
he's
He's
that
that
guy,
guy.
man. You hit him in the post, and he's just a tornado of pump fakes, and like,
You're gonna get stung. You're gonna reach in for the honey, and you're gonna get stung.
bro, this man has led to more NBA defenders turning Pop Tarts out the toaster than you would get at the breakfast table at a Plumley brother reunion breakfast. All right.
Wait, wait, what? Hold up, hold up. I'm not gonna let you get away with that. I'm gonna need you to give. I'm gonna need you to give that one more time. What the people need to hear you say this. What did you
Listen,
just
man,
say?
if you had a family reunion at the Plumleys and they all had Pop Tarts, do you know how many Pop Tarts that is?
Oh, oh my goodness.
Jokic got guys coming out of the toaster more than that. I promise you that. All right.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. I just got one thing to say about the Joker. So like 12 games into this season, right? Last year we only had 66 games in the regular season. So if you take his last 82 games that he's played in the regular season, he just had one of the greatest all-time marks for a center. His numbers, his last 82 regular season games, he's averaging 26 points per game, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, a steal and a half, shooting 39% from three and 57% from the field. The man is all world. 82 game stretch. That's what he just did. He's a beast. He's a beast. I have him higher. On my list as far as watchability, I absolutely love seeing the Big Honey. I don't like seeing Austin Rivers play, but I will sacrifice for the Big Honey. Like he's literally a mastermind with that basketball. His IQ to see what I there's several times I have to like take it back, I have to rewind. I'm like, how did he make that pass? And because I already seen the pass happen, I know that he saw it develop before it actually happened. And that's the only way he would have been able to make a play is that he's seen it before it happens. He's got a gift. He's got like a LeBron-esque gift. I might say he might be the second best passer in the league to LeBron. I don't know if there's a better passer of the basketball besides LeBron and the Joker.
I'm sorry, Kevin Durant, but I'm on record. I've said this before, and I continue to believe this. Besides Steph Curry, man, there's not an offensive weapon more dangerous than Nikola Jokic.
No, it's not.
Like,
And it's a shame because he's playing in a market like Denver. If he was playing in, honestly, if he was a Spur, if he was in Miami, if he was a Knick, or if he was somewhere in a bigger market, you know what? Put him in Chicago and take Vucevic off and see what that team looks like.
you keep like replacing average NBA players with MVPs.
Okay,
You want to put
you know,
LeBron in Cleveland?
you know what? You know what the problem is? The problem is I'm talking to a savant of basketball. You know your basketball. For the casual fan, I don't think the casual fan actually understands what the Joker brings. So I'm talking to the casual. They're like, oh yeah, that yeah, Vucevic is a 20 and 10 guy. Yeah, put him on. They don't know. The average fan does not understand what the Joker is. They think, oh, he
Christian,
won an MVP because he got a hospital MVP. Everybody was hurt. That's what people are saying.
Christian,
He
I
earned
understand,
that MVP, bro.
but you
He
can't
earned the
say
MVP.
per no disrespect, but you cannot say you're talking the casual and then bring up Vucevic. Like, no disrespect, brother, but it just don't compute.
You know the casuals gonna go on basketball reference and they're gonna see his numbers and they're gonna try and be like, you know what? People don't understand. You know what? For the average fan out there, I'm gonna speak to the average fan. Guess what, guys? The Joker is better than your favorite player. I'm gonna throw that out there. Whoever that player may be, he has an argument. He's better. Just to let the casual understand, and I feel like the Nuggets viewership is about to go up because we're on the dick right now. You need to go watch the Joker play basketball. It is something special.
No, it's a real thing, dude. And I really wish Jamal Murray was healthy because
I don't. I don't need them running away. Like Lakers got to catch up, fam. Like Lakers got
that's
to catch up.
like putting the Lakers aside, right? Like they just being my unbiased self. Like yeah, I feel like if Jamal Murray was healthy on this team right now, like they'd be up there with the Warriors easily.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. What he's doing right now, by the way, I know Steph is balling out right now. The Joker's having the second best season in the league. The Joker right now is just he's toying with the competition. I'm gonna give the people at home one last nugget. No pun intended. This man is averaging this season through 13 games, 26 points per game, 14 rebounds, 6.5 assists, almost a steal and a half, one block, shooting 74% from the free throw line, shooting 38% from three on 4.5 attempts, shooting 60% from the field. 26 and 14, guys.
Is he going back to back?
He if Jamal Murray can come back and give him some assistance, because Steph right now is running away. Steph is pulling away, but people that know basketball, the Joker, what he's doing right now is absolutely absurd. 26 and 14 on 60% shooting from the field. That is nasty.
He's a beast, man. He's a beast. I'll never say no to giving love to the Joker.
No, the big honey got it.
All right, number 11. I went with another. Same division.
Oh, oh.
I, I want the Utah Jazz. For the regular season, man, it is a lot of fun to watch the Jazz play basketball. Donovan Mitchell, he's a legit explosive NBA superstar, surrounded by shooters everywhere. Jordan Clarkson, I promise his next tattoo is going to be on his face and it's going to be a traffic light with the green light Quinn Snyder's giving this man off the bench. All right. Rudy Gobert, he's swatting shots everywhere, dunking off the pick and roll. This team is complemented also with one of the best alternative uniform and courts as well with that gradient one. I love that gradient court, man. You got Dwayne Wade and Gabriel Union on the sideline for no damn reason. I mean, we know the reason, but like, why are you in Utah? Like, this
I'm
team
gonna
at
be
this point is just a
uh-huh.
well-oiled machine. And for the regular season, like if you just want some good basketball to watch, this is one of the go-to teams.
I'm just not impressed. I've seen the story already with the team. I'm over them. All honesty, Donovan is nice, but I'm not sure for anybody who listens to the All the Smoke podcast. I was definitely fearing uh, Utah last season, but Matt Barnes was saying the entire time, they were running away with everything basically in the regular season. He's like, they're just a piece away from me. They're missing something, and I just they're a great team. They're going to win a lot of games in regular season, but I do not fear Utah at the end of the day. I think Donovan, I love his game. He's too small. He's just too small. He becomes it when you get into the playoffs. They don't who's their guy on the wing? You need a wing. And that's why I give, shout out Matt Barnes. He was the only person on the national media saying that I know they're winning all these games. They're missing someone still because Donovan is 6'1" on a good day. He is an undersized guard. And it's hard for him to impose his will against teams that have wings, especially in the West.
Well, my only rebuttal would be that's why every comment I made was for the regular season.
For the regular season. And because they did what they did last year, that's why for me in watchability, I had them somewhere around 20 because I already know what they're gonna do. There's like no there's no mystery. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You know what
I
you're
think
gonna
it's
get. You're
fair.
gonna right?
I think it's completely fair. Honestly, I'm not mad at it because this team is kind of, in my opinion, I know I touched on it in our preview podcast, right, in the Western
Mm-hmm.
Conference. To me, this is a finals or bust team. Like if you're not making the finals, conference finals, game 7, like I'm at the point where I'm blowing this whole
No, you gotta
shit
blow
up,
this shit up. You gotta blow this shit up.
and it's gonna
You
get
gotta blow it
ugly
all up.
because you got a lot of commitments, a lot of contracts. You don't have much versatility. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you got to convince your superstar, like, hey, we're gonna suck for a year or two, but it's gonna be better at the end of the road. But I don't know, for this, whatever you want to call it, I guess for this ranking, they're just landing at 11 for me. If I overrate them, it's possible. It's possible. I'm not mad at the 20 even. They're the most highest variable team on the list, in my opinion.
Right? Okay. But I like it though. I like it.
Number 10, I got Charlotte Hornets.
Oh my God. Scott.
LaMelo Ball has
Scott.
just entered the chat top 10.
Oh my God. I'm gonna say this one thing. I'm gonna let you continue real quick. There are not 9 teams more watchable than the Charlotte Hornets. That is way too low. I don't know what you're smoking over there in Texas. You need that Cali tree. LaMelo Ball. I'm gonna let you go off with the details. But there's
No, go
not
ahead. Go,
nine
I want to hear you
teams.
rant. Go ahead.
The
Go
announcers
off.
alone have them top 5 because if people aren't aware, they have the best announcers in the game, and it's not close. It's not close. These dudes are, I don't know if they're hyped up on Kool Aid or what it is, but what makes them so great is that they're not just dick riding their team, they dick ride everybody. Like the highlight to watch their game is so unbiased, it's crazy. They look so excited. Like the sound, man, LaMelo, Terry! Like they're just yelling, and I love it. And you see Charlotte, man, they're showing up for these guys. They got this, they're putting the city on, like LaMelo, his pace, it goes without saying. This man is box office. I don't know how you have this team at only 10. There's not 9 teams more exciting to watch. And they just beat the 2 top teams in both conferences the other day. Like they're not just entertaining, but they're like 5 and like 9. Like they're entertaining and they're finding a way to win. Like the Miles Bridges, we thought he was just dunking on dudes. He's over here putting up like 4 straight 30-point games. When you look at how like they're fitting it, man, this team is exciting. It's exciting, man.
Man, let me tell you. I love every point you brought, right? Miles Bridges, he's in contention right now for most improved player.
Oh, it
LaMelo
is. It is.
Ball, he's everywhere on the floor. He's snatching
Oh
boards,
my
he's throwing no
gosh.
look dimes, he's in threes.
His layup package. Have you seen these jellies?
Yeah,
Someone give this man some peanut butter.
he's a
Oh
modern
my
day
god.
sorcerer, bro.
Oh my god. The moonshot
He's
threes.
he's developed himself into an NBA All-Star, and he's bringing this young team up with him.
Oh, he's bringing the city up. Like the city hasn't felt like this since Cam Newton in 2015. Like the city is getting put on. Charlotte is rocking, guys. You got MJ courtside. He's actually showing face now in the arena. He's in the box shaking his head at Kelly Oubre, jacking up a 3 with 30 seconds left for no reason. Like,
Always wearing a hat or some kind of accessory. You're like, what the fuck are you wearing, dude?
he just looks dated. The man looks like he looked like he just walked out of 1998.
He's
Let's
got
just be honest.
his yeah, he's got his patented suit 5 sizes too big.
He look like he's trying to dip set, bro. He got the Cameron drip. This man, the
I
Charlotte
hear you,
Hornets,
man. I
guys.
hear you, man. I hear you. He's this
I need
team.
you to explain to me how did you put them 10?
It's
Because
funny you bring up the announcers.
they're goaded.
To
It's not even
me,
close, Scott. It's
bro,
not
like
close. Are you hating?
you could
You
call
gotta
hating if
hate.
you want, but
You
like,
hating.
bro,
They're
I
goaded.
they treat every long two Lamelo takes like he just fucking cured cancer. Like
They do that
it's
for
it's a little too
everybody, though.
much.
They do it for the best part is they'll do it for Ish Smith. Bro,
It's
as
too
a
much,
friend to
bro.
watch their
It's
games,
too much.
and they dick ride both teams. You forget what the telecast is. They dick ride whoever is on the court, bro. They're the most impartial
This
group
is okay.
out there.
As a Laker
And their
fan,
unis
right?
are swaggy, by the way. Their unis are swaggy.
Uniforms and the colorway, it pops off the
Oh,
screen.
it,
There's
it's
no
so much.
denying.
The drip is crazy.
As a Laker fan, and I know they're not on the
Oh,
list. I
oh.
haven't said the list yet, but this has always been my gripe with like Bill McDonald is he would treat, and I don't care if the Lakers are down by 30, like he'll treat a shot like it's fucking a game winner. And it's like, bro, like there's a time and a place. Like I need you to understand the game. I need you to understand the moment and everything like that. And if you're just unabashed and just excited for no damn reason, it's ingenuine, in my opinion.
You know what? I rebuke that analysis of Billy Mack. We stand Billy Mack because if you ever watch the Laker game, if it's not the Laker telecast, every announcer shits on any Laker team. And it's not even close, bro. Every fucking announcer either had a brother that lost in the finals against the Lakers 30 years ago. They either got eliminated by the Lakers 9 years ago. Everybody that announces has a vendetta when they announce our games. It's terrible. It's awful. So we have to be biased, fam. The Lakers have no friends in the media. They all take shots at us, and it's disgusting and it's nasty. So Billy Mack, keep that up. Dick ride. I don't care. We're down by 50. You got a dick ride, bro. You got to.
No, we'll be down by 50, and he'll be like, LeBron from the logo. Like, and I'm like, bro, like the game's over. Like,
But you know what though? On every other telecast, LeBron dunks the ball, and yeah, I mean, yeah, they're gonna have a tough flight home. You know, they're getting eliminated tonight. Like Billy Mack is great because if you ever want to watch our highlights, we have an announcer because he understands the highlight game. When you go and look at Kobe and he's putting up all these buckets, no one gives a fuck about the score when you watch the highlights, like the compilations. But you're gonna have Billy Mack going off. These other announcers are fucking up highlights, bro. I don't care about the
so,
score. LeBron took off from the logo.
so, so the Hornets are number one. The announcers are number one in your opinion.
No. They're goaded. You Google it. Google them. Google. You might want to look them up one day. You need to Google those announcers, bro. They're goaded. It's not even close. Because if it was just on the Hornets, it'd be really obnoxious. But their games, bro. I've seen them call games last year against the worst team against the Hornets, and you would have thought every game's game seven in the finals. Every fucking game. Every bro. I don't know what they're paying them, but the
They
price
bring
is
it.
not the
They
same as
bring
it
the
was
energy.
last year. They bring the shit, bro. Like I will watch their highlights or catch their game whenever I can. If the Lakers are not on, I'm watching the Hornets, bro. I'm watching the Hornets.
Ask where you had Charlotte.
I had Charlotte fifth.
Fifth. Okay.
The announcers alone and LaMelo have to put them top five because I refuse. I'll argue any other. There's not six teams more entertaining on a given night. Now, if you're scrolling through your TV, talking to the casuals out there, and like you peep the score and they're down by 20, there's other teams you might want to look at. But if to start the game, no. If your favorite team's not on, go look at LaMelo. And LaMelo, first of all, they got talent on this team. Terry Rozier, Kelly Oubre. Golden State could have used the shooting, by the way, last year, Kelly. I don't know what the fuck happened in Golden State, but you're the only dude that couldn't score next to Steph Curry. You're the only dude that had an issue being wide open.
It's because the eyes were in synchronization, dude. Usually, Kelly Oubre's used to everyone getting lost in his eyes. Somehow,
Tsunami Poppy could not handle. He couldn't handle. He's the only
somehow,
dude,
he
bro.
found himself getting lost in Steph's eyes.
Bro, he looked into another light-skinned brother. He just, I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened, but they look nice right now. And they will beat your favorite team. Like they're gonna beat them. Like you gotta go out and man, they don't know no better. And that's the ignorance that I love in young talent. John Morant really believes he's the best point guard in the league. LaMelo really believes he's the best player. Like
Oh, so does Colin Sexton.
they don't know any better. And that right there is so dangerous on most nights in the NBA because you're gonna win a lot more games than you even have you're gonna be in more games than you should even be in, first of all. So I just love that. I don't know, they keep me young. Watching Charlotte, they keep me young. I like it.
All right. Number 9. Higher than the Charlotte Hornets, I put the Atlanta Hawks. Currently, they've disappointed in the wins department. They failed to make the jump I expected them after taking a trip to the conference finals last season.
You did. You called.
Yeah, man, I'll own up to it. Like I thought this team would take a jump. But still, like this is an entertaining team. They're powered by their point guard Trae Young, who's as well as this team embraced kind of a villain role last year in the playoffs. We saw him bow into the Garden crowd. We saw Collins wearing a shirt the next game after dunking on
That was
Embiid's
wild.
head.
I ain't gonna
Like
lie, that was wild.
he wore the shirt like that. Like
He
I
had
was
the
like,
freshest Gildan the next morning.
I don't know if you get Gildan that club that quick. That had to been pro club.
That's the pro club.
All right. This young team though, like honestly, they have potential to be a true offensive juggernaut, and I still believe in this team. They got Trey, Kevin Huerter, Cam Reddish, Bogdanovich, and even Hunter. They can all pass, dribble, shoot.
I believe Hunter just went down
He did.
for
Which which is exciting for me because I see superstar potential in Cam Reddish,
Same, same.
and I want to see him get the opportunity.
He need this man is a walking bucket.
hmm And then you add all those guys who can shoot, dribble, pass, and you throw in bigs like John Collins and Clint Cabela, and you just
Red
have a
Velvet.
we got Thanksgiving coming up, and this team has a cornucopia of offensive talent. All right,
Oh my gosh.
not only that, but this team has rebounded from those McDonald's uniforms they were rocking a
Oh
couple years ago.
Jesus Christ. Though, by the way, there's not a uniform worse in NBA history. At least in this millennium, that is easily the worst uniform.
Yeah, so now they got these really pleasing design. I hope they bring back the MLK like court and
Oh,
the
those were
uniform and
they
everything.
might have had the best court the other year with that court. That court was crazy.
Yeah, like the stained glass and all that shit. That was nice, dude. Like I know they're not winning games right now, and Trey came out and said, "Oh, regular season boring." Blah blah blah. Well, we're coming up on the next 70% of the season, and I expect this team to turn up. And with the talent on this team, plus the characters, if you will, and the emotions that they put into it, this is an entertaining team, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I'm not giving you shit. I know I started off with a little, but no, they're I had them top 10. I had them 10th. The atmosphere in the postseason, man, Atlanta, they put the city on and they got behind them. You know what I'm saying? So they're electrifying. I'm not really worried about them. They're a young team. They might have read too many press clippings from last year, came in, you know, but they're getting everybody's best now. They're not going to sneak up on anybody. And I think they got punched in the mouth, first 10, 15 games, but I definitely expect them to be right there come playoff time. They're going to be there. Basically, you, the problem with the Hawks, I believe they're the most dangerous team in the Eastern Conference because I don't think seeding matters. They could come in as a playing game. You do not want to see this Hawks team in any round in the playoffs. That's a shout out for the top four seeds. You don't want to see this team before the Eastern Conference Finals. Like they're way too deep. And this is a team, it's a war of attrition, the NBA season. One dude goes down, bro, you got Cam Reddish just coming up. Like, there's not teams that have that.
I agree, man. I'm gonna move on though to number 8.
Oh my God.
We're going to South Beach. I got the Miami Heat number 8. This team is super fun to watch, man. You got Adebayo and Robinson, probably the best two-man game in the whole league right now. They just use it as a weapon against every team, and every team struggles to guard it. You look in the rafters, and you got Pat Riley and the rest of the mafia overwatching their team operate defense like blue collar surgeons, rolling out lineups featuring Lowry, Butler, PJ Tucker, and Adebayo to just bludgeon opponent offenses. And best of all, they're talking shit while they're doing it. We've seen Tyler Hero make a leap into one of the league's top scorers. Coming off the bench, I know he's been starting recently, but still, like, man, his development's just amazing. You got Spolstra. Uh, this is a true finals contender, in my opinion. So I really encourage the audience to go out and start paying attention now to the Miami Heat.
Me personally, I had them right outside the top 10 as far as watchability, just because they're a little boring. Like in the regular season, they're just a little boring for me. I mean, Jimmy is ridiculous. He's a monster. But in the regular season, he'll miss time. You know, most Miami players do. He'll miss time, and I don't know. They win games, but I don't know. Like they're not a bad watch. I have them like right outside the top 10. I'll watch them, but the entertainment on it in November for me, like I know they're gonna be there. I guess so. For me, when they have a winning record or they're really good, like I have already said, Eric Spoelstra, in my opinion, is the best coach in the league. So like, they're almost like Utah in a way, but except they've got those guys that I believe will maintain it into the postseason. Like they're just they're predictable. They're going to be a top 4 seed in the East. They might end up with the number 1 record overall. I'm gonna watch them more so later in the season. That's when for me they'll be a lot more watchable. But right now, I expect Spoelstra teams to do what Spoelstra teams are going to do in November. Around All Star break, I probably will be glued to Miami games. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like that for me, like seeing them gear up, it's gonna be scary. But right now, you know.
To me, why I have them a number 8, right? Because to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
like I call them a finals contender, and I really believe that, and it's
Same,
because
same.
their style of play, man. Like they're so locked in on both ends, and they're just Adebayo is such a unique skill set at center, and then you bring in Lowry to bring in just kind of like a grittiness, kind of up the pace a little bit, and then you see Tyler Hero's ascension. Like there's a lot of fun things when you're watching this team tactically. Um, like I alluded to like the 2-man game between
Mm-hmm.
Robinson and Adebayo, but it goes deeper than that when you look at like, I didn't even talk about like posting up Butler or like Lowry pick and roll and stuff like that. But it's just
Or
there's
Butler's playmaking because his playmaking is top tier, and
100%, man.
I don't think his playmaking gets enough credit. This man's he's a savant. I might say I might use the word savant with a basketball man. He can really develop and make plays for his teammates.
There's so many layers to this team on
Mm-hmm.
both ends of the floor that if you're a fan of good basketball, like you got to tune into Miami. And I hear you because later in the season, when they're gearing up for the playoffs, is for sure like when you're going to pay more attention to them and stuff because they're not really a high flying team or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
But to your point, though, I got to give you credit. I got to put a little caveat there with Miami. They're probably top 5, 6 for me watchability if it's a primetime game. That is a team you do not want to miss primetime. If they're going against another contender or whatever the situation is, because of all the elements that you just alluded to, you can't be passing up on Miami games like that. I don't care what part of the season it is, because they represent a different challenge than a lot of other teams do for the contenders, I would say, that's out there. So I definitely agree with that. But like if they're playing Portland, I'm not tuning into that. Portland's gonna get their asses kicked. I'm not gonna watch them against a Dame. I'm not gonna watch them against Washington. That's kind of what I meant. But if it's a primetime game, Miami is must see in any part of the season.
all right, man. I think time to move on. Number 7, creeping close to that top 5. But number 7, I got the Philadelphia 76ers. All right. I hear you, man. But the thing with this team is like, man, if Ben Simmons was on the floor, this team would easily be number 1, right? I alluded to all the body language doctors, yourself included.
Oh
They
yeah,
would
I'm the
be coming
CEO.
out of the shadows, man, to, to read into every Simmons exchange with Embiid. Every time he takes a jumper, does he look at Doc and like make a face? like, like but honestly, he doesn't seem to come through that tunnel anytime in the near
No,
future.
he's not gonna play. It's too late at this point. I think it's a wrap.
With that being said, this team still really entertaining me, right? Joel Embiid, still one of the most entertaining players on and off the floor. He's hitting over the shoulder turnaround jumpers. He's got a natural footwork. Of course, he's, in my opinion, easily the best trash talker in the NBA right now. He lives in his opponent's centers, even his teammate centers. I'm talking to you, Andre Drummond. He lives in your head. All right. And
You bringing up old shit. You bringing up old shit.
bro, I don't know if you've seen the picture of when like they greet each other and
Oh,
Embiid's
when
giving
he
them the dap and
in
he's
the
looking
workout room,
like
and he was like,
it's
"I
like
still don't like you, bro."
uh-huh, uh-huh. Like, you got
Oh my god.
on this team. You got Matisse Thybulle, man. He's one of the most fun players to watch for me. Defensively, this guy can literally move across the floor like nobody else in the association. He's a legit all pro defender. And then, of course, you got Doc Rivers on the sideline, who, in my opinion, in the history of the NBA, nobody makes a better angry slash confused coach face I've ever seen, where he's just like, and
The
you're
number two
wondering,
line, the number two pencil lineup.
yeah, and anytime it's like a national game and they do like inside the wire and they're showing you in the huddle, you're like, how does Doc still have a voice? He's been doing this for 20 years. He's got
We're
this.
gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right.
He's honking loogies. Like, you
I'm
got Seth Curry draining threes. This team's really entertained me. I wish Simmons was on the floor because they would easily be number one in my opinion, but I still have him number 7.
if you're interested in watching a team whose superstar is gonna miss 30% of the season because he's out right now. If you're gonna watch a team that's gonna watch a supposed to be a good team, if you want to watch a team's head coach lose games for them in crunch time, if you want to watch a team that you don't know what you're gonna get from one night to another, or you want to watch a team that cannot get Seth Curry more touches, watch the Philadelphia 76ers. That's what I have to say. They, and I mean that genuinely. I mean that respectfully. I mean that disrespectfully. I'm not watching them. Joel is not on the floor. If he's not on the floor, they're a bottom feeder as far as watchability. Doc Rivers single hand. He genuinely for if anyone out there saw that Nets game earlier this year where they didn't score for like the last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter and had like a 17-point lead entering the fourth, the lack of adjustments. My God, Doc Rivers. My God.
My favorite thing about Doc is his, as the years gone by, his limp has become more exaggerated.
Why has no one mentioned ever since the attire went away from the suit and he can have like sneakers and like a long sleeve? When is someone going to acknowledge that this man literally looks like Dr. Dre?
I don't know. I feel like that whole '08 Celtics team, whenever I think about them, I just think of turtles. Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Doc
I don't know
Rivers,
why.
Rajon Rondo, KG. They all look like turtles to me.
I don't know why you think they look like that. Which one was Franklin then? I'm gonna just go along
Rondo.
with
Rondo.
it. First team all Franklin.
Ray Allen's close second.
Sam Cassell, where does he fall?
That's
That's ET. He
that's a
phoning
mother could
home.
love that. All right.
He been phoning home for the last 20 years. Yeah, Philadelphia's they're boo.
Elliot.
Okay, first of all, we're not doing
All
that.
right, all right, all right. We're reel it back in here. Number 6.
Uh,
I got the Brooklyn Nets at number 6.
wow, we had them at the same spot. I love it.
I love watching Kevin Durant, man. I watched this dude hit a pull up the other night, and I'm like, the defender jumped at the same time as him, and he's just so lengthy that he's
Yeah,
like, what are you gonna do? What the fuck are you gonna do? Like,
yeah.
and the shot, it didn't hit any rim. It was just butter. I was like, wow. And they just got a cast of misstiffs, like misfits, like Blake Griffin, misfit, like LaMarcus Aldridge, misfit, uh, Patty Mills at this point, like
Misfit.
misfit. Yeah, so
He's wet. He's a wet misfit.
yeah, and then you got the level of James Harden's just fat and trying to figure out how to play without a whistle.
Oh,
I think there's a lot of watching this team because they do have championship aspirations, and then you have the background stuff with Kyrie. We don't know what Steve Nash like. He's still kind of finding himself as a coach. I know you've talked about how he's kind of failed early on in his career and where
Yeah.
he can really make improvements.
Hmm.
Um, there's a there's a lot of things that I like about this team, but most importantly as well, like what kind of kept him from that top five, in my opinion, is I watched them against Golden State, and they're in Brooklyn, but they're more Golden State Warrior fans than Brooklyn Nets fans. And so that's kind of a problem for me. Like, if you don't even have a home court advantage, like, what are we doing? Like, you can't.
Oh, no, 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 no. Scott, you're being too nice. That wasn't the biggest problem. The biggest problem was there were Nets, quote unquote, Nets fans chanting MVP for Steph Curry. They switched. Like, no, no, no. Like, they were there. They showed up in the building, but they was like, okay, this could either go up or it could go down. Out of the way, we're going to be chanting MVP. If Kevin Durant was matching Curry, you would have heard the same chants for Kevin Durant, but he wasn't. So the Nets fans was like, fuck it. We're just going to sit and root for Steph. That to me is way more concerning. That's a problem because it's not. I think when we played the Lakers played Golden State in the play-in last year, I was hearing LeBron get booed in the first quarter. I was like, what the fuck? Where the fuck all these goddamn Warrior fans come from? But like Laker fans were still piling in. You know what I'm saying? They were still coming in. So like I understood
Late
that a little bit.
traffic, you know?
Exactly. I get that. It was fixed come the third, fourth quarter. But what I saw in Barclays, that's a problem. These dudes had Kevin Durant jerseys on and they were chanting MVP. That's not a situation where your fans couldn't get tickets. No, they got tickets. They made a business decision in the third quarter and was like, fuck it, we're gonna ride the wave. That's a problem.
I just really wish Kyrie Irving was on the floor, man. This guy's coming off a 50, 40, 90 season in a shortened year. He didn't play that too many games, you know. So if you want to say it's illegitimate, you can't. Like, I'm not going to.
With the shots he was hitting, that's a legitimate 50. That might be the most legitimate 50 49 I've ever seen.
Yeah. So, like, he's coming off one of the best seasons of his career. And for him just not to be on the floor right now kind of really, I feel like it's taking some energy from this team. You know what I mean? And it's cool because we get to see Kevin Durant make this comeback from this energy and come kind of full circle to like, man, like this guy's an MVP candidate again.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's an awesome story, man. I really do. But I see James Harden and how his lack of kind of drive, and I really wish KD had a running mate to go along with them right now.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I absolutely don't. This man, for the first time in 6 seasons, does not know when he walks into the arena if he's gonna win. Figure it out. If we're gonna be mentioning this man in the conversations that he deserves because his talent demands it and his resume will demand it. I need to see what you do with an MVP. I don't need you to have the deck stacked against everyone else. Bronze had to do it. Steph is currently doing it. Put your big boy pants on. You still got an MVP out there. Fuck the rule change. I love seeing this. We're seeing KD play the best basketball of his career right now. And as a fan, I'm here for it. We were robbed when he was in Golden State because he could just show up and he would just ball it. I want to see this man be that guy. I want his talent demands it. He's special. This man is absolutely going off this year. The efficiency is through the roof. No one can do nothing with Kevin Durant. No one can do anything with this man. I need to see this man do it. I love it. To me, this is the best thing that's happened to KD for his legacy. Because for all those people that discount those Golden State championship, I'm one of them. Shut us up. Shut us up. Because no one respects him as a champion. No one respects him as a champion. Show me what you're made of, KD. Kevin Wayne Durant. You're balling your ass off. Keep it up. Keep it up.
All right, man. Moving on. What are we at? We're at the
5.
top five. We've coming down to the stretch run. These are the most watchable teams in the NBA right now. In my opinion, number
Oh,
five, right down to the next borough. I'm going to the New York Knicks. Number five. This team for me, they're gritty defensively. They've ranked last in pace and first in isolations. So it's still laying in the middle there, but
so it's an ugly game to watch, basically.
it can be an ugly game to watch.
No, it
No,
is.
no doubt about it, man. There's something about those MSG lights, the classic jerseys, and I cannot give more like points or credit to the combination of Mike Breen and Clyde Frazier calling a game. And then you got James Dolan on the sideline with his fucking bulldog looking face on the court, slouching. But most importantly, man, this is easily, in my opinion, the league's most electric crowd now that the team's good again. And what's great about them, if you're just in league pass terms, right? Not only is it MSG and all that, but the superstar on the other team comes to play every night. And
Ricky
the fact
Rubio, we're looking at you.
100% Ricky Rubio, Jordan Clarkson, I can go down the list, right? Harkless, okay. But but honestly, like I don't know. And then you got the level of that Randall's play, RJ Barrett just getting better defensively, offensively. And Obi Toppin's got a level of high flying to him, Mitchell Robinson blocking shots. And then you got my favorite, Tom Thibodeau, another Doc Rivers disciple, losing his voice. I don't know. I think the Knicks are the fifth best league pass team right now,
It's,
equally for the team playing them as them.
it's funny. I put them. I had them around 8. You know, atmosphere. Uh, MSG, all that jazz. Their fans is a bittersweet thing with me with their fans. I think they have the worst fans in the league. Personally, I think they just have a very loser mentality, like as a fan base. Like the way they, treated their team in the playoffs last year when they were struggling. Like they started booing. Like it to me, they're just extra out. Like no team should be booing their own team, especially when they've overachieved. So like they're the fans that they get really loud. Like if the Knicks can ever put together an actual championship contender team, and I don't have to worry about their fans like flaking on them, there's not a building I think that's more electric than the energy those New Yorkers can bring. It changes the way you look at the game of basketball. It was, they were the first arena uh, last year in the playoffs where obviously they were able to go to full capacity. I missed the fans. Like I missed the fan experience, even watching through the TV. The camera looks like it's shaking. Like it's fire. I love the atmosphere. Uh, I don't know what they're gonna do this year. Personally, they're kind of up and down right now, but they're the problem with the Knicks for me. The reason why I couldn't put them top 5, they have to be winning. If they start losing and they go on a slide and the buzz leaves a little bit, it will take from it. If they gotta be competitive, as long as they're competitive, I'm not mad at their top 5 watchability. They just please win. Just I root for them in a way because I think the league is better when the Knicks are respectable. I'm tired of them being a dormant franchise. I don't like that for the Knicks.
All right, moving on. Number four, we got the Milwaukee Bucks, the reigning
Hey,
NBA champions.
okay, okay, okay.
The regular season for the Bucks is honestly a playoff like optimization lab, right? It's they're going out there, they're going to test things out, they're going to just gear up and ramp up. So this is kind of like when you're talking about Miami, where you're waiting until you know post winter to really
Mm,
watch them.
Hmm.
To me, though, like it's fun to watch them because although they're champions, they have room to grow, right? Not only are you featuring two-time MVP, newly Finals MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's just every word of the Greek freak, like he embraces that, where he's just taking off the glass and bringing the full court in three strides and dunking on your best player. Like it does not matter. This guy's bringing it every night. Drew Holiday locking up guys on the perimeter. You got Bobby Porter's crazy eyes. That's like in that unintentional comedy aspect to them, but it's fun for me to watch them because they're trying to hone in this half court offense. Uh, kind of preparing them for that Brooklyn series. Um,
No,
and I want to see I really want to see Antetokounmpo kind of embrace that what we saw in the playoffs: a screen center, a roller, and a finisher. I know they're not winning right now, but to me, like this is still one of the best teams to watch in the NBA.
easily. I mean, I have them for it as well. Is Giannis, you know, is Giannis like he's must see TV at the end of the day. He's an all time great. He's a top 75 player. It's Giannis. I mean, Pfizer Forum, the fans are electric. No, like I got no issues with that, no gripes with that. Giannis to me is must see. Anytime he's on, I'm gonna watch. I have to watch greatness, and I feel like he's in that category where, along with Kevin Durant as well. Like if they're on, man, you gotta watch them. You gotta watch them. It's a privilege to be able to be watching his prime, and like you said, they have a lot of room to grow. They have a lot of room to grow. Chris Middleton was out for an extended period of time for health and safety protocols, so that kind of held them up a little bit. But I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing them there at the end. So great pick there. Pfizer
Yeah,
form, they be rocking.
I gotta be honest too. I'm a big fan of their court. I really like their uniforms. I
Same,
th- I
same.
think it fits Giannis really well, which is important to me. I think if your best player like it looks good in the uniform, it matters. And
Yeah,
honestly, like I don't know how much home games you watch, but I really like their announcing duo too.
I do too. I'm a fan. I do too.
All right, going on number three, top three, man. I got the Los Angeles Lakers currently number three. For the Lakers,
Are you serious?
it, I'm serious. I got the number three.
You got them third?
I currently have the
Oh my God. Did, Scott. All right, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go.
all right, the Lakers. I have the number three. I know you've talked about this often. Health is a real concern for this team, so you never know who's going to be on the floor any given night. Even with that being said, you've got this dynamic that you were trying to figure out as a whole NBA community of how does Westbrook fit in with LeBron, Davis, how is he kind of empowering himself to take over this team, which he is doing nothing of the likes as of right now. You've got a Vogel who only rivals um, the team before Budenholzer and maybe the smallest hands in the NBA. Uh,
Oh my God. It's coming for the man's hands.
but like I don't know. Right now, this Lakers team, I would put them higher because they have all the drama, they have the celebrity, they have the best
Fam, they got
uniforms, the
every
best
every they
court.
check every box, bro. They got the best uniform in the league too. Like you, I don't know what you're smoking over here. I'm a.
The road jersey's kind of below, dude. The black stripe is a no go.
It doesn't matter when you have the cleanest one in the league, bro. The rest can be trash for all I care. We have the cleanest jersey in the league.
They're just
I'm
not.
challenging. Uh
They're
huh.
just not playing good basketball, man. Like
It
at
doesn't
all.
matter. Who cares? You just put the Knicks at 5. They're not world beaters.
No, they're not world beaters, and that's but I still have Lakers at 3. Like,
I'm challenging your Laker fandom, bro. I'm not talking to a Laker fan. There's no way. How big of a fan are you? We check drama. We check. First of all, the world just realized, because you and I have been saying this, AD's a bum, basically. But because these people in national media don't watch West Coast games, they finally got to see what Laker fans see every night. That's a huge development in watchability, because now there's a target painted on our second best players back, like the Westbrook dynamic, like the Carmelo having a resurgence. How on earth is this team not the most watchable team in the association?
because I've watched him every night, and I'm like, this is tough watch, man. Without LeBron in there, it's a
We're not.
tough
Whoa, whoa, whoa! This
watch.
isn't for enjoyability. This is just watchability. That can go up or down. It's just
I'm not talking about enjoyable. I'm just talking in general. Like, I want to turn the fucking TV off sometimes. I'm like, God damn, like if LeBron's not in there, dude, it's every possession is a goddamn grind, and defensively, it's just mistake after mistake. And I'm like, oh,
okay, okay, okay.
what kind of lineups is Vogel putting out there? Like, I guess you could give him props for like unintentional comedy in that fact.
There's
Like, man,
there's absolutely comedy in that. Are you kidding
he's got
me,
four
bro?
guys on the court with ARP. Like, I don't know. I need
It's cool.
LeBron to come back, dude. I need LeBron to come back because I need him to start rolling his eyes as Westbrook misses his 13th straight jumper. Like,
It's cool.
I
Us resident Laker fans, it don't matter if Bron's out there or not. There's two Hall of Famers on that court, as far as I'm concerned. That's quote unquote in their prime. So if you can't get up to watch that, as dysfunctional as it may be, it's your prerogative. I respect it.
and as much as you want to say I'm being a hater right now, or whatever. Like, this is more about the two teams in front of them. Number 2, I got Chicago. I got the Chicago Bulls number 2. They right now have a backcourt who is just putting the clamps defensively, creating turnovers, causing havoc, getting in transition. Everybody on the team is ready to run. They got a high flyer in Zach LaVine. They're hitting shots left and right, everywhere on the floor. This team is just hitting on all cylinders right now, and they got top 5 uniforms in the league.
Oh, easy. Always. Always.
I think the Chicago Bulls are must see TV if you're an NBA fan right now.
Absolutely. You don't like NBA basketball if you don't appreciate what the Chicago Bulls are doing right now. They got two legit MVP candidates. And DeMar DeRozan, this man, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. DeMar DeRozan is balling right now. Him, Levine, Lonzo is wet. Like Vucevic is out right now for a few games, but they're interesting because as good as they look now, it's going to be interesting if they can stay on this arc that they're on. I'm looking forward to see where are they come All-Star break. Are they for real, not just a top 4 seed, which is for real. If you're a top 4 seed, you were for real. But are you for real, where I can see you in the Eastern Conference Finals? Because the way they're playing right now, that should be their expectation at this point. They should be able to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, must watch.
Can I tell you why I'm buying in on the Chicago stock? And
But what's the stock though? Let me know this. Like where
now,
do you see
where
the
you're
game
talking
part?
about, like where you're talking about, like they're a contender. I am buying in on Chicago Bulls being a contender this season.
Wow. Okay, you heard it here first, everybody. You
I'm gonna
heard
give
it
you,
here first.
and I'm gonna give you credit. Okay, Ben, you can knock my layers thing all you want, but you said the Chicago Bulls were gonna be your league pass team, and
Absolutely,
I'll give you
absolutely.
credit here. But I am buying in on this team because offensively, coming into the season in our preview, we talked about this offensively. We knew they were going to be good, man. They just matched up. They had all the perfect complementary pieces. You had a stretch big. You had a guard that can shoot, but also likes to give the ball up. You had a scoring guard mixed with another scoring guard. Like offensively, there were never any questions about this team. Defensively, there were questions. And right now, this team is playing top flight defense. And it starts with Caruso, it starts with Lonzo, putting the pressure on that perimeter. And then I don't know, the way this team's playing defensively, and you watch them against the Lakers and some of the rotations, the secondary rotations, third rotations they're making. This team is locked in on both ends. And to me, they're creating great habits. And by the time the playoffs roll around, if they're healthy, they're a legit contender.
Yeah, I second all that. Health is huge. That's one of the caveats that I have regarding health is Lonzo does have an injury history. So if he's going to be crucial for them, if he can stay healthy for a good portion of it, like that'll be really good for them. So I completely agree with you, man. They're for real, for real.
My number one team in the league pass rankings currently in the NBA, I have the most exciting player for the last 7 seasons. Two-time MVP, unanimous MVP, Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors are my number one league pass team right now. We touched on it in our coaching episode. You talked about Kerr and his system and how it's the best system in the NBA. And it's not just the best system as far as effectiveness, but also aesthetically, man. There's not a
Hmm.
team you watch where you're like, this is beautiful basketball, where you're like, dang, like this is just, they're making crisp cuts, they're hitting open shooters coming off curls, and it's all because of Curry, man. This dude brings so much gravity with the way he moves around the floor, and he's just going all around and around and around, and where he's sucking in defenses where they're just, I've never seen a team in the history of the NBA get more open backdoor cuts than this regime of the Golden State Warriors. Dude, they get so many layups off of just Curry coming off a screen and two defenders follow him. It happens every game, 10 times a game. And Draymond consistently finds the open shooter or the open cutter. And then defensively, this team, and this is the reason I have them number one right now above Chicago, is every night they are playing like a college team. They're giving their full effort defensively, where you just don't see that in the NBA, man. In the NBA, teams take team days off. You know, they're on the road 3 nights a week or whatever. But the Warriors right now are giving it their all on defense. Their rotations are crisp. Draymond's leading them vocally. Steph's leading them on the offensive end, and this is the most fun team to watch right now.
So I'm address a couple of points. First things first, uh, as far as them balling every night defensively, uh, taking care of business, locked in, being focused. They've got a chip on their shoulder. They've got a chip. They wouldn't have won those titles without KD. Draymond has been consistently disrespected as a very, very important piece to this puzzle. I've said in the past, I would trade him for Ben Simmons. I would have been dead ass wrong. I would have been wrong. I did not expect this. I'm gonna put myself on Front Street. I have undervalued Draymond Green. The only person I know that's given him his proper due for this dynasty was Max Kellerman. He called it years ago. He said the pick and roll between Draymond Green and Steph Curry, he is the second most important player in this dynasty over Klay Thompson. Klay is all world, but we're seeing right now what Draymond and Steph are doing to teams. They're destroying teams. Their point differential, they're leading in the league. It doesn't work on either end of the floor without having that anchor of Draymond Green. So hopefully, with Klay being out for a while, I think they're expecting him back around Christmas time. Hopefully, people can open their eyes and understand what Draymond brought to this entire dynasty. Second of all, Steph Curry. Well, I mean, what do you say? He's gonna win his third MVP. The way it looks right now, he's gonna have three MVPs in an era in which he's playing with LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Stephen Curry needs his due as well on the all-time rankings. Steph Curry is having a ridiculous season. Steve Kerr, I think he might have heard one of our episodes about my criticism and how he would pull his rotations with Steph Curry. He's mixing up his rotations beginning the fourth quarter and leaving him in. And it's paying dividends for them finishing and closing out games, keeping the momentum up, keeping Steph hot. They look scary. I don't know what else to say. They look scary. They're not fully healthy, and I can't tell. They look like world beaters right now. And he's got that fire in his eye, man. He got that fire, and he's reminding people. He's I've heard all that. I've heard I needed Kevin. I needed all the. Stephen Curry is that dude. He's that dude. You can't have an argument of Kevin Durant being better than Steph Curry without mentioning KD's height. You can't. If all things created equal, Steph is just a better player. I believe he's just more dynamic. I would probably say right now, he's the best player in the NBA.
I know earlier I apologize to Kevin Durant. I'm about to do it again because I'm sorry, but this last generation, it was LeBron's and it was Curry's. KD, you're on the outside looking in. Curry isn't, he's pushing for like a Mount Rushmore spot, in my opinion. He is so transcendent in the game of basketball and the way he's pushed it forward and we're only going to see it as generations pass as far as shooting the ball, but just in general, like being the small guy, there's a reason guards don't win in this league. Okay. And this guy, not only has he won championships, but he's got the most regular season wins in history. He's got 2 MVPs. He's a unanimous MVP, and it's all well deserved. And I know that you brought up Draymond. The chemistry that Steph and Draymond share is something. To me, it's why we love team sports, right?
Yes.
It's the chemistry you dream about finding, and a pickup game for just one goddamn day, dude. And it only happens when you have two ultra smart, ultra skilled players with
Mm-hmm.
complementary strengths. It doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't hurt that Curry's just the greatest shooter ever by like a non-trivial margin.
Yeah, yeah.
And they've just bonded for a decade at this point. And it is rare, even more rare in today's game where you have player turnover, free agency, all this stuff. And as NBA fans, I hope we cherish it. I hope we take every moment to respect what those two guys and once Clay comes back, those three guys have created and held together for so long.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Draymond and Steph, they're going for Mount Rushmore greatest duo of all time. The duo between those two, chemistry wise, they operate at an insane level. The efficiency, you could blindfold Draymond Green. He's gonna find Steph. The patience and the cuts. If you see the curls, if you see what they do, it's they're just on the
It
same frequency, man.
looks it looks really simple, but that's something you can't achieve only from like years of shared problem solving. And they've seen it all, and there's nothing you can do to stop that combo, honestly.
Yeah,
And it's
no.
crazy because Draymond's so limited. He's so limited, but Curry transcends that, dude, because the gravity and his just skill set is
but we gotta but you know what, he might be limited with ability, but mentally there's a lot there's a lot of games won with the mind. More games are won with the mind than ability at the end of the day, because all these dudes are talented. All these dudes got hella talent. We don't give his basketball IQ. His basketball mind is top 3 in the league right now. If you see that he's not just passing the ball to Curry. For the casuals out there, he's not just seeing Curry and passing the ball. When you look at their offense and how they run it, he's making reads. He's a quarterback. Like those backdoor cuts that you were alluding to earlier, because Steph's coming, he's not passing the ball to Steph. He's throwing the
Mhm.
ball to the basket. Like he's literally like Lamar Jackson at the top of the key.
Yeah,
He's reading and reacting like he's one of the greatest basketball minds this game has ever seen.
it's crazy because this team's not even healthy, man.
That's what I they're not even
Like Jordan Poole is balling, dude, but like Klay Thompson's gonna come back at some point. Like Wiseman's gonna come back at some point.
oh my goodness.
They've got this team's deep. I don't know if you watch them against Brooklyn, but like
Yes.
Iguodala looks spry, and
He
I know
only
it's early.
he can only play in one team for one team, and that's Golden State. Every time we think he's washed, he just goes back to Golden State, and we're like, okay, yeah, he's
I
dunking
know
on
it's early in
dudes.
the year, but still, like, come on, man.
You
All
know,
right, dude.
yeah.
This kind of that was my number one team, Golden State. That was my list. We had some objections. We had some good laughs, but overall, I think we had a good time. Appreciate everybody listening. Christian, any final words for the people?
Laker fans, hang in there.
I think that's a strong message.
Hey, right now, that's a very strong. Help is on the way. Help is on the way.
All right, guys. Good night. Until next time.